Captured in a little rowboat that rowed itself along, you sank into your seat, listing through quiet contentment between two thoughts, two emotions, two worlds. Sweeping through the golden river, your boat chugged merrily through the strange waters. You leant over the boat edge and reached for the river. The consistency wasn't that of water, but more like honey. The goo fell like velvet between your fingers. That gentle scent, it reminded you of chamomile tea. You tried to wipe the syrupy stuff on the inside of the boat. It was so sticky. You took several tries to wipe it all away. Odd. You were tempted to turn and study the lantern behind you. What were those ever-fusing and ever-splitting little suns? Could you open the case and peek a little closer? Would this orb fly away? Would it disappear? If you touched it, would it burn your flesh away? Or would your fingers slip right through it? Watching the orb was good enough entertainment for you. Don't go fiddling with things you don't understand, especially when that source of energy is your only way of not becoming stranded. You looked up into the sky, but could find no moon nestled in the dark blanket of the night. The black wings of the night sliced through the soft clouds, unveiling the advancing expanse of space. Blackness, only blackness. It almost seemed artificial. Where were all the stars? The sound of chimes came from the front of the boat, but there were no signs of nearing your destination. The scenery remained the same. More black trees were coming into view, each one pulsating with their radiant, iridescent canopies. In their soft blinking hues, it was almost as if they were waving at you, cheering for your little adventure down the river. Such sweet trees, bowing like old friends, welcoming so invitingly from the high branches, whispering promises and secrets. And just then, something held in the wind. The hissing of static and the whirring of machinery. Something was building up, and the sound lingered not too far in front of you, above you even. If you kept rowing as you were, the sound would immediately be right above your head. A golden circle burnt into the atmosphere. This blinking disc quickly split apart, allowing something to crash through and into your boat. You almost leapt out of your skin as a person fell down. An audible whack rattled through the wood as their back hit the bow seat. A strangled gasp for air soon came after. Whoever it was definitely winded. The boat swayed with a sudden commotion, turning you off course. Unhooking the lantern from the stern, you brought the light to the figure, now inhabiting your boat. It was a man, in a tangled mess of his own limbs. His head curled into his chest in agony, so you couldn't see his features, but his attire was far more innate than anything you had worn or seen on others. The most noticeable thing was his dark, oversized wizard hat. From gold chains, many jagged ruby stars hung along the edge of the rim, even dangling from within the underrim. His deep purple, almost black robes were embroidered with strange golden symbols on their sleeves and hem. When you thought you had deciphered a single symbol, you blinked, and it had collided into another and another, until it was a never-ending pattern. You could not make any sense of it. Several necklaces hung from his neck, obsidian talismans, amethyst amulets, and copper pendants, all covering his shoulders and torso like a capelet. The signet ring sat proudly on the little finger of his left hand. It had a midnight blue base, with a gold star in the middle. With a whine, he forced himself upright, his head back, eyes squeezed shut. His chest shivered up and down, still fighting to take deep breaths. That's when you saw the strangeness of him. Skin, the colour of weathered stone. His hair appeared dark, but when he came close to the lantern's light, it shone in a warm, auburn hue. So small, so far away from home. A baby bird fallen from its mother's nest. The man's eyes opened and snapped immediately to you, eyes sown with the colour of green, the purity of a newborn spring. He said nothing, but you witnessed many emotions and thoughts repeat across his face, caught in absolute hesitation, as if knowing the first words he said to you had a colossal magnitude. And just like that, the hesitation faded, and from it arose a soft eagerness. His words materialized in a gentle, feathery voice.
How did you get here then? Your timing was perfect. Any moment later I would have had no hope of being saved.
Swallowing, you exclaimed you didn't know how you managed to get to be here at the right time, but you were glad you were here. You asked if he was okay, seeing the fall he took.
Alive. Sorry for scaring you. This is not my usual entrance if I can help it.
Your shoulders relaxed with his apology. This was all just a lucky coincidence. Wondering where he had come from, obviously in such a hurry, and knowing you were the only two around as far as the eye could see, you maneuvered yourself back into your seat, tentatively asking if this boat was his?
It's not, and it obviously isn't yours.
He gave you a knowing smirk, an expression you were unsure what to make of. The strange man adjusted his hat. The scarlet stars all floated as a wave, twinkling like bells. So graceful, it was almost heartbreaking. He was beautiful.
Since we'll be on this boat for an undefined amount of time, perhaps it's best we get to know each other. You give your name freely. Others should not ask for it.
His eyes glittered in the muted light. One hand reached out to hover beneath your chin. You felt compelled to speak. A beat of courage helped you so. You uttered your name. The boat rocked, and the amber liquid grew warm beneath you both.
Ah, what a beautiful sound you have for a name. I swear a thread of light sang the same sound to me when I was shaking in my sleep, freeing me from a nightmare. What a thing to find you here. Ah, my apologies. It seems like you've been my fragment of fate longer than I realized.
The man cast his gaze ahead of you both, squinting in the distance, deep in thought. Silence. was he? Oh, for goodness sake. You, growing impatient, gestured for him to reply with his own name?
Oh, yes, a name. I had almost forgotten we exchanged those. Mine is Taggle. There's not much to me, but hopefully I am to your liking.
Taggle searched within the mass of his pendants, eventually finding the one he sought. A necklace with a lens attached. He held it to his eye, peering around at the scenery. The monocle pulsed with a sparkling blue light, and then it fell onto you. Blue lines like the face of a clock etched the glass, swirling into unfamiliar sigils. Then they faded. His head cocked, eyes widened like saucers. Disbelief pervaded his tone of voice.
You are new. Brand new. Almost to the point where you do not exist yet. Take all my apologies if I make you uncomfortable, but your presence is like the dawn of a hatching day. The sweet scent of warm rain approaching on the horizon.
A hatching day. Is that what he said? You didn't know what he was talking about, and frankly, you didn't care. You just wanted to know exactly where you were. You said that you were sorry, but you didn't understand what he meant. You didn't know what a hatching day was, how you got here, and where here even was.
You dear thing. You don't know where you are, do you? I'm remorseful you appeared after the revulsion, but we can't pick and choose the event horizon we enter into. Anyway, never mind my ramblings. Let me tell you where you are. This world is called Epiopia, a world where the triptych saturates every aspect of our being. It is beautiful, but sadly nothing compared to the pastoral it was before. You have arrived in the age of existential nostalgia.
The age of existential nostalgia. What did that mean exactly? It might be how they name their years, or maybe not, since Taggle did say an age. You had one question answered only for something else to take its place. This cerebral visit into Epiapia seemed a bit more solid than you liked. This eerie dream had a name now. Ah, there it was. A name to a place. Epiapia. What strange inflections your voice had to perform for a word. But the more the word repeated in your head, you came to wonder about its meaning, its history, its language, and its trickling warmth embracing you, all coy and green in the dying light. Well, each name is a gift. What a gift to receive. Hello! I don't know, why did I sound like an old lady? Yes, I have a new video for you in the same month. Oh my gosh, that is some crazy stuff. What were you thinking? I know, I had in my head, I know what I wanted to write, and I got 2 videos for you in 1 month. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh, I'm stretching myself so thin. I'm not. I was just ahead of time. I was in my zone, and it's really nice. Anyway, I'm gonna not blather on so much, but hopefully this might be the new norm. 2 videos each month, every 2 weeks. Hopefully, I might have like little one-off stories. I might do some more creepypastas. I don't know. I will just see what my fancy, what I fancy doing. I don't know. But anyway, anywho, I hope you enjoyed. I really was excited to write that story. I hope you all have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and I hopefully will hear from you soon. So yeah, take care. Bye bye.